Okay. Growing up, I always had a pencil in my hand. I was always drawing in class in my notebooks. I was the drawing kid. You know, there was the class clown, the smart ones. There was the pretty girl, the football player, the rugby player, the basketball player, even the cricket kid. And then there was the kid who drew well. I thought it was my weakness. I thought being the drawing kid was a bad thing. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized that was my strength all along. You see, when I was a kid, it was the thing that called to me, the thing that told me who I was. So I kept drawing. And I drew, and I drew, and I drew. And those drawings sucked, but I loved it. I filled my sketchbooks, my notepads, my parents' printer paper. It didn't matter, I just drew. I was given countless how to draw books for birthdays and Christmas, countless pencil cases, packets of pencils, watercolors, sharpeners, erasers, and I continued to draw. That was my thing. As a kid who was neurodivergent, life outside of drawing wasn't easy, except for when I was drawing. So I decided to dedicate my life to art and the pursuit of creativity. Growing up in the modern school system meant that skills that a neurotypical world decided were important for every child to have, I did not have. I was not really good at much, but when it came to drawing, I was good. In fact, I was great. And I'm not too bad at painting either. Who am I kidding? I'm pretty good at painting too. This has an effect on a child's upbringing though. When you're told you're not good for so long, what else are you going to believe? But I kept pursuing it. It kept calling to me like a siren. My marks were okay in school, and I got better in high school, and then, well, I got worse. But I kept drawing. I remember when I was in year 7, we had a general maths class. But when I got to year 8, I was put into the advanced maths class. And the first thing that I heard when I walked into that class, not only from the teacher, but the students as well, was, "What are you doing here?" That afternoon I went to the head of math and I said, "Miss, I don't know why you've put me in this class." And she was the one person that said to me, "Jordan, you are capable. I know you can do this." But I didn't believe in myself. So by the time I was in year 10, I ended up in the bottom maths class. And that profoundly affected me. To this day, I think of that story just to remind myself of how capable I really am. I passed my HSC, which is the Australian equivalent of the SATs, but I didn't aim to do much else but pass them. And ultimately, school didn't prepare me for life. And unfortunately, I think this is the story for a lot of neurodivergent children when it comes to the modern schooling system. I always knew I was going to be some form of an artist. Back then I was making music. I called it pop rap. We had a semi-successful local hit called "She's My Girl." It got like 3,000 views on YouTube. It was a big moment for me. but I still couldn't get it right. I now realize in hindsight that I was actually getting it right, just not the way that everybody else thought I should have. And I think that happens to a lot of kids who are neurodivergent in a neurotypical world. And I think it's time we start to normalize showing our kids that they need to lean into their strengths, not learn ones that are preordained for them. Fast forward through all of that. After 8 or 9 or 10, I don't know, I've lost count at this point, failed day jobs, and a decade of feeling useless in the workforce. Working as a barista at bottle shops, as a graphic designer, a disability support worker, even a gardener. I find myself on the 1st of September 2021. I receive a call from my friend Mel from Gallery 1111, based in Epping in Sydney. She's called to discuss the workshops we were going to do in the school holidays that have now been postponed due to the lockdown. And the conversation steers towards a friend of hers. She tells me about young Ari. He is an illustrator himself, but he is talented. He has drawn an illustration of Godzilla and it has blown both of our minds. And Mel goes on to tell me about Ari's own superhero character, Super Ari. And she asked me a favour. And of course I'd oblige. She has been one of the most integral people in my creative journey over the previous 12 months. She commissions me to draw Super Ari. And as she's telling me about Super Ari and Ari himself, I'm taken back to when I was a kid and I'm reminded that I was Ari. So this commission just got a whole lot more personal. I can tell that art is calling for him the way it was for me. So it's time to give him something that I didn't have. Inspiration. Now, it's not to say that I didn't have people who supported me. And a lot of people, particularly my classmates and teachers, were supporting me the best way they knew how. It just wasn't supporting me the way I knew how and the way I needed to. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way. And I am certain there is someone out there who needs to hear this. The point of making this film was not to only tell you my story through the piece that I did for Ari, but it was to remind everybody that no matter what age you are, no matter what brain type they may tell you you have, no matter what you may be bad at, don't you ever let society or anybody tell you you cannot be the best version of yourself, simply because it does not hold to the standards that society has deemed as valuable. You can be successful, especially when you're different. Now I have children of my own, and through them I've realized that I now know what is important to me. In fact, I always did know what was important to me and what I was supposed to do with my life. What my life, my soul has been calling to me since I was Ari's age. There is something out there that calls to all of us. I don't mind what you would like to call it. I call it the universe. And it's been telling me since I was a child that who I am today is who I've been working towards being. Who I was supposed to be. Through all of the trials and the tribulations, the misunderstanding, the judgment, the loss, the pain, the joy, has all led me to being an artist with a capital A father, and a servant to the creative community. Whoever out there needs to hear this. Do not be afraid of who you are. Do not let anybody tell you that you cannot be successful being you. To the wild things, the misfits, the kids who just can't get it right, I promise you, this too shall pass and you will. Just stay true to yourself. So thank you, Ari. Thank you to my fiance. Thank you to my children. Thank you to my parents. Thank you, Mel. Thank you everybody that has come and gone and stayed in my life. And thank you to all of you out there. You have reminded me that who I am is Jordan T. Mystic, and that's who I always was meant to be. So tell me, who are you meant to be? So we're just about to sit down with Ari and his mum. He hasn't seen the drawing yet, so I'm a little bit nervous. We're just having lunch with the kids and hopefully he likes it. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go, eh? Whew, I'm nervous, eh? It is. So Mel showed me your drawing of Godzilla and I wanted to put him in there somewhere, but I didn't want him to be the main core of it, so I decided to make him a gargoyle. Like what Batman sort of hangs off gargoyles. So always perching, Batman and Spider-Man are always perching on a gargoyle, so I thought I would make Godzilla the gargoyle.
I really like it. I seriously want to copy it right now.
You're more than welcome to.
I can.
You're more than welcome to. I'll send your mum a file. So this is a digital file. Okay, just a second. This is a digital file. So I'll send your mum a file of this so she can get it printed for you, and you can put it on your wallpapers, you can put it on your walls, you can put it on